Hi guys, it's Mina, and today I'm just taking a little break from the knitting tutorial for a little bit because I want to do this video I have had for a while. And this is going to be the 10 people I would have lunch with tag, and this will be similar to my 10 people I would have dinner with tag, and my 10 people I would have breakfast at tag, and 10 people I would hang out with tag, and if you're interested in those videos, I will link them both down below. So I'm going to get started, and this is going to be 10 people I would have lunch with dead or alive tag. So I'm going to get started. So number 1 on my list is, if you guessed Eva Gabor, then you're correct. The reacted, she is an actress, and she's a Hungarian actress, and she's dead. And the reason I would have lunch with her is because she's one of my favorite actresses. She's so pretty, and she's mentioned in my top 10 prettiest actresses. She's so funny. I love her on the show Green Acres, and I love her in a lot. And she's just so pretty and funny. I just love her so much. And she's from like the 1960s. And she did the voice of Miss Bianca on The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. And if you're interested in my 2 reviews of that, I will link them both down below. She's in a movie called Forced Landing, and then she's in Green Acres. Number 2 on my list would have to be Robin Williams. Now, Robin Williams is one person I would have lunch with because he's so funny. He reminds me so much of my uncle, and he kind of looks like him too. And he's just fun, and I've been watching his movies since before I could even walk, I think. And he's in a lot of great movies too. He's in Flubber, which is one of my favorites, Hook, which I reviewed, and if you're interested in my review of Hook, I will link that down below. And he's in Robots, Mrs. Doubtfire, Happy Feet. Number 3 on my list would have to be Brittany Murphy, and she is an actress. The reason I would have lunch with Brittany, and she's dead by the way, the reason I would have lunch with Brittany Murphy is because she's so cute, she's so fun, and she's super pretty. My mom and I loved her in the movie Uptown Girls, and that's one of our favorites. She's in a movie called Clueless, which I find really funny, and she's also in the movie Just Married, which I've only seen part of. And she's not really, that's not really my favorite movie. I don't remember watching it, truth be told. Well, I think I rented it once in the hospital, but I didn't really like it. Anyway, number 4 on my list would have to be Julie Andrews, and she's an actress, and she's alive. And she actually just retired, I think, last year, I heard. And the reason I would have lunch with Julie Andrews is because she's funny, she's fun, she's in a lot of great movies. She's in Mary Poppins, which is one of my favorites, Thoroughly Modern Millie, which I absolutely love. She's in The Princess Diaries and The Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. She's in Shrek 2, which I forgot to put on my list. And she's in a lot of other movies that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. And by the way, she's alive. Number 5 on my list would have to be Anne Hathaway. The reason I would have lunch with Anne Hathaway is because she's so funny, she's so pretty, and she's a great singer. I've heard her sing. She's got awesome pipes. She's in a lot of good movies too. She's in The Princess Diaries. She's in Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. She's in Ella Enchanted, which is one of my favorites, and she's in Rio and Rio 2. And if you're interested in those 2 reviews, I will link them both down below. Sorry, that was my phone. Number 6 on my list would have to be Eddie Murphy, and he's alive. The reason I would have lunch with Eddie Murphy because he's another comedian that I like. He's super funny, and he's just super funny with all his movies, and his voice is really funny, and the way he talks is really funny. I mean, just everything about him is really funny. And he's alive too, and he's in Dr. Dolittle, Dr. Dolittle 2. Fun fact, I actually like Dr. Dolittle 2 better than Dr. Dolittle. And he's in The Haunted Mansion, which is one of my favorites. I think I might review that for Halloween this year or next year. He's in Shrek 2, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and those are another one of my favorites. Those are hilarious. Number 7 on my list would have to be William Shakespeare. Now, the reason I would have lunch with William Shakespeare is because he's an awesome playwright. He writes wonderful love stories. He writes a lot of comedies, and I love how he puts his words together. And I will do a top 10 favorite quotes from William Shakespeare plays, and I will put the plays next to the video. I mean, not the video, next to the quote. Oh, and he writes such great quotes too. The plays I've seen that he's done is Much Ado About Nothing. And by the way, William Shakespeare's dead, and I bet all of you know that. He's in Romeo. He does Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is my favorite love story. He does Hamlet. He does A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then he does The Two Gentlemen of Verona, which was the first Shakespeare play I ever saw in the 7th grade. Number 8 on my list would have to be Cameron Diaz, and She Is Alive. And the reason I would have lunch with Cameron Diaz is she's been one of my favorite actresses since I was a kid. I loved... Not now! Sorry, I thought somebody was calling my name. Anyway, the reason I love Cameron Diaz is... I would have lunch with Cameron Diaz because I loved her since I was a kid. She's funny, she's a fun actress, she's in a lot of great movies, and... The first movie I think I ever saw her in person was The Mask, and The Mask I've been watching since I was a kid. And to be honest, I didn't know she was in The Mask until my mom told me. She's in a bunch of great movies, like she's in The Mask, she's in Shrek, all 3 Shrek movies, and My Best Friend's Wedding. She's also in The Holiday, which I've only seen part of, and she's also in a movie called Night and Day. Number 9 on my list would have to be Julia Roberts. The reason I would have lunch with Julia Roberts is because she's a great actress. She's really funny. She's in a lot of wonderful films, and I don't know why, but I've never really found her pretty at all, but I really liked her in Pretty Woman. I thought she was really pretty. And she's in, and that's the only movie I ever found her really pretty in, was Pretty Woman, which is kind of funny. Funny because it's Pretty Woman. And she's alive, by the way. And she's in the movie Hook. Again, that'll be linked down below. She's in Pretty Woman. She's in My Best Friend's Wedding, The Ant Bully, and Valentine's Day. Number 10 on my list would have to be Glenn Tilbrook, and he's alive. And for those who don't know who Glenn Tilbrook is, he's the lead singer of this band called Squeeze. I have mentioned them like so many times. And I bet you guys are familiar with, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Squeeze, but they're a band from the 90s. They're still around today. They play a lot of rock and stuff. Like, I don't know what kind of rock it is exactly, but it's not like super old rock from like the 60s. They're really good. They're one of my favorites, and he's alive still. And I would have lunch with Glenn Tilbrook because he's a great singer. Okay, so those are the 10 people I would have lunch with tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you when I finish the next part of the knitting tutorial. Bye. And that went by quick, by the way. Bye.